Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is July 16th, 2016. My name's Eric Peterson. Joining me today, Miss Jess Clarkson.
Hello.
Hi, Jess. I think we forgot to introduce you last time. What?
Jess Trinier now.
Oh, it's changed back.
I changed my name back, yes.
Can you do that before everything's final?
Yeah, as long as you bring your birth certificate that has your original last name, you can change it back.
I think you can technically change your name at any time to anything. So, I mean, you missed an opportunity to change it to something sweet.
No, because then you have to pay. For this, I didn't have to pay anything. I just got a new driver's license and health card.
Get some free health care, but wait 6 months.
Maybe. Whatever.
We got Dan Curtis.
Hi,
Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Probably not as good as Mr. Tom Ragan.
Yeah, I'm half naked right now.
Oh, nice. Picks or it didn't happen.
Steve. Yes, we're having a mini heat wave in England.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Still can't believe you guys don't know what air conditioners are.
This would be worth it for the 1-2 days a year.
It has been.
No, get it. Go to the loft. Get the air conditioning unit out. It's time.
We usually have our central heating on during the hottest days of the year.
It's been balls hot in Phoenix the past few weeks too. It's going to be 110 today.
It's been like high 30s, and I've been dying.
I can't do math like that. That's like what, 90?
I can't do math like the other one.
High 30s. Yeah, you're talking 90 plus.
Oh,
Yeah, in Canada, it's crazy. We don't like
Holy
this
shit! Is it like 40 where you live at?
Oh, it's probably closer to the 50s.
That's disgusting.
I can't even cope with 30.
50C. Oh, wait, no, not 50. Well, 50C.
46.
It's hit 50C here before.
Is that when you just step outside and spontaneously combust?
Well, it's really interesting. It's like, if you want to know what Phoenix is like, set your oven to like 450 degrees. And then open the door and kind of like give it a little wave to get the air to come out in your face, and that's what being in Phoenix is like on a windy day.
See, I just usually stick my head in it, so cannot do that.
So yesterday, the temperature in my car read about 48C. So 118.
So gross.
Yeah.
Like, how do people function?
I mean, just
air
take your
conditioning.
clothes off. A lot of naked people in
just
Phoenix.
so like sweaty and sticky.
No, not sticky because there's no humidity.
It's sunburned.
Sunburn.
It's a dry heat, as they say.
Except when it's monsoon season and the haboobs come through.
Oh,
We should be getting haboobs here pretty soon. I won't try to outrun any this year, though.
I love that so much. I just picture loads of people in Arizona just like when they're coming towards them going, haboobs! Haboobs!
I think you should try to outrun it.
Well, I did
more
that last
videos.
time and thought that the motorcyclist behind me got eaten.
I know, it was like
There are worse
Mad
ways
Max.
to go than being eaten by boobs, let's face it.
Correct, yes. Here, I don't know if I showed you guys this picture, but this is a picture of the worst haboob that ever came through Phoenix. Let me put it in the old chatterbox here.
Do they cause any damage, or are they just...
They can. I mean, they cause a lot of accidents, depending on how thick they are.
Very stupid.
that doesn't even make sense to me.
It's just a big old dust storm just rolling on through, going, hey, guys, coming by.
Is it just because it's so flat?
Well, what happens is the rain comes across the desert, hits the ground, kicks up some dust, and then the dust gets pushed forward in front of the rain. So the dust comes through, coats everything in dust, and then the rain comes through and turns it all to mud. It's pretty fun. They're super
You ever
cool.
thought about a career as a weatherman?
I'd be so terrible.
More sun.
Let me consult my weather rock. Is it wet? Yep, probably raining. That'd be about it.
Dear me.
Yeah. So how's everybody doing this week?
Not too shabby.
Good.
Not
I
too
picked
bad.
up my
Too bad.
puppy.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Picked up your puppy?
Picked up my puppy on Sunday.
What's your puppy's name?
Simon.
With a
Simon.
Y?
That's not a dog name.
I know. I used to have a hamster and I called him Colin.
That's awesome.
So I guess Simon is pretty
amazing.
matched at this stage. Yeah.
Colin the hamster.
Jeeves, feed Colin.
We buried him in the back garden when he died and put a rock over the mud and just wrote Colin in a marker pen.
Oh my, like, could you imagine neighbors coming by? Like, who the fuck is
I know.
Colin?
Yes,
Your
Colin's
parents
not
still
here
live there,
anymore. No.
So somebody's bought that house and probably been in the back garden one day and just found a rock with Colin on it.
In
An
Sharpie.
argument once. Yeah, so Simon's pretty
They
bad
probably
at this
think
point.
some guy's buried in that garden.
They're going to get
Oh,
real
Colin.
drunk one night. Let's go dig up Colin, see what this is all about.
Dig up it's just bones and glasses and stuff.
You should have planted some glasses and like a pair of teeth or something down there.
I don't want to alarm you, but there's a strong chance at some point your parents might be arrested for murder.
Yeah,
Because of
but I
Colin.
think... yeah, or actually, they'd think that Colin was probably a baby, because I think I wrote, like,
Oh my
2000
god!
2002 or something.
Wow, this is going grim very quickly.
Tom, are you trying to confess to something?
I mean, it doesn't look good, does it? It doesn't sound
I
good.
knew you looked at Shifty.
Now I think about it. I was only, like, 11. I was like, oh, Dad, we should bury Colin. He was like, yeah, all right. The funny thing is, when we dug his grave, we put him in there, and then we put in all of his toys and shit, like as if he was some sort of pharaoh from Egypt. Just buried him with all of his treasures. There's a shit ton of like plastic toys down there.
How big are these toys? Like, could they be misconstrued as baby
Like-
toys? And you have a baby pharaoh?
The freaking pipes that he used to run through, and the plastic shoe, and the house that he lived in. He's inside the house with cotton wool inside it, and he's just kind of resting on some sawdust.
Your dad was probably just excited to get all that shit out of the house.
He's like, how else am I gonna fucking get rid of it? Bury it.
The old Reagan household.
Good times. Rest in peace, Colin. Love you.
R.I.P. Colin.
How did he die?
I came home one day from school, and my dad was like really unsure of how to break the news, and he was like, "There's a bit of an issue with Colin." It's like this really overly British way of doing it. There's a little bit of an issue.
He's dead!
With the animal.
There's a bit of an issue.
just a little one. Just a
Yeah.
little one.
But he gets like, I think hamsters get this thing like wet tail, where like, I don't know, they just become a little bit incontinent and they just kind of waddle around. and
Shit themselves to
struggle.
death?
Probably. What a way to go. Poor Colin.
Just a little bit of an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude.
We had a bearded dragon when we lived down here a few years ago, and it wasn't doing so hot, so we figured we'd put it outside because it's the desert, and bearded dragons come from the desert. Well, my mom, bless her soul, forgot to take him out of his enclosed glass box and just put him outside in the direct sunlight.
So he just burned?
Oh,
he just set alight?
he just cooked himself to death.
Shit.
Wow.
Odd.
Poor Spike.
That's...
Anyway, Jen,
Oh, jeez.
congratulations on a new pet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Congrats. What breed is he?
He is a poodle Bouvier cross.
What's a Bouvier?
Yeah.
It's a like big shaggy herding dog.
Bouvier puppies.
Aren't puppies a lot of work?
Oh my fucking god, yes. Like it is fucking stupid. He slept in his crate the whole night last night and I was like, this is amazing.
Imagine having kids now.
No, no. And like I was telling my parents, like I have to be a single mom. Like I don't ever want to like have to live with someone again. I don't think. I'm like, so maybe I'll just adopt by myself. And now I'm like, fuck that, so bad. No.
Yeah, you need that help from another person, right?
Oh yeah, you have to tag team. Two is still manageable because you can kind of run man-to-man coverage, but the second you throw a third in, it's like, okay, we're just on zone defense here, and we're just preventing this place from catching on fire.
Yeah, you're outnumbered.
But fortunately, the new baby is good, sleeping through the night, very calm, very mild-mannered.
That's awesome.
She definitely a
Come
Peterson.
out and go, hello.
Quite. We cleaned her off with dollar bills.
Father, where's
Was she
breakfast?
standing up or sitting down while you did that?
A bit of both.
That's the best way to do it, I feel.
Yeah. So we did have a new baby on the 7th. That's why we didn't have a show last week.
What? Little babby.
Thanks, Dan. You spawned again. I did it somehow.
Congrats. Good times.
Yeah. So,
But you've been away, I guess, for the last
well,
week.
we had the kid on
then you
Thursday,
went
and then I had to leave on Monday for a week-long work event, which was less work and more play.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking off about a total of maybe 25, 26 hours of sleep in the past 6 days.
That's insane.
Ooh.
I mean,
At least it's for play, though, and not for, like, working all through the night or something. That would suck.
well, yeah, but when you've got scheduled 16-hour days and because we have breakfast at 7, then meetings and stuff start at 8 and go till 5, and then you have an hour break and then dinner for 3 hours, and then after that, you want to go out. I mean, running off 3-4 hours of sleep each night, having to cover a 16-hour day the next day, you get pretty exhausted.
Yeah, that's fair
Reminds me of
enough.
that time we went to that conference, Tom.
Oh, jeez. I forget that we went to that for 3... Did we go for 3 days? Or was
2
it
or 3, I think.
You guys went to the
Yeah,
London
it was 2.
game show, right?
Yeah,
What the hell was that?
Wait, Jess, was that your dog?
The mic really quick and it didn't happen.
You are the new Aaron. Oh, man.
I
here we
know, I
go.
didn't want to be. I didn't want to be so hard.
It's happening. And you know what? It sounds like you're in an echoey room. So once your dog starts barking, oh God, Aaron's back.
Have you,
We've come full circle.
have you locked
Because our
yourself in the
house is
closet?
staged. No, there's just not as much furniture in my house anymore.
Oh no.
Quick to IKEA.
And I need to get my shit together.
Yeah,
That means I'm going to drop my motorcycle. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh God.
I'm
Going around a
screwed.
corner at
God
minimum
damn.
speed to stay upright. And
God
you're going to have some sort of tragic escalator accident.
God.
Why don't you
Can't
also
deal
do
with
the show
that.
from your closet?
Or the
Well,
bathroom.
there's a closet right beside me. I can just sit in there.
Or you could lock the dog in there.
Yeah.
Aw.
No, don't
He was
do
just
that.
playing with the stuffed animal, so he was growling. I'm a
You're
little
not-
puppy and I'm gonna fuck you up.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, thing. I'm gonna hump
he-
you. Does he
at
hump
least-
things? Is it a boy or girl?
He's a boy,
Oh,
but
man,
he
get
hasn't
ready for
humped
some humping.
anything yet. I know.
Maybe wait till he's older because he might wreck your furniture, right? If you haven't got any to wreck.
By humping it?
Well,
Hump it to
I
death.
think that don't puppies go like crazy? Like they scratch up all your shit.
That's
They-
cats.
Or is that?
He bites everything. Like everything
No,
is a
like-
chew toy.
Oh man, do you have
Yeah,
some expensive
puppies-
shoes that he can destroy?
No, I hid them all. I have Crocs by my door, and that's it. God.
Oh my god!
What's my life
You know
become?
those little holes in Crocs. That's where your dignity seeps out.
No, Tom, you fix that by lining the inside of the Crocs with fur.
But that's so comfortable.
But what about if you're wearing socks? Then your dignity can't seep out because you're wearing socks with the Crocs.
Jess, what has become of you?
I don't know.
I saw somebody wearing socks with Crocs earlier. It was horrible.
Oh my god! I can possibly allow them for the garden, maybe.
Socks with
But-
Crocs or just Crocs in general?
Just Crocs in general, like garden shoes. Okay, but if you're taking those motherfuckers out on the street, no, Jess.
How about Birkenstocks with socks?
My friend has camel
God.
Crocs.
Your friend has what? Animal Crocs.
Camel Crocs. Like hunting Crocs. Like you
Oh,
can't see my
dear.
feet as I sneak up to you.
So he has invisible feet.
God, some people.
Eric, Jess, do you guys get like kind of old people wearing sandals with ridiculously pulled up socks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think part of that though is as you get older, part of it is you just don't give a shit. But then the other half of it is like, I'm going to see how far I can push the envelope here.
Yeah,
But
you
you're
just want
old,
comfort.
You're probably wearing socks over your waist.
I'm going to wear socks over my shoes.
That's true though.
I'm going to get me some of them toe shoes. They're cool. Like
Skeletos.
them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know the ones.
The
Yeah, I think you
Vibrams.
just get to a certain age and you just want comfort, and you're like, nah, whatever. I just
I
want
don't
to
give a
be.
fuck.
Don't give a shit anymore.
Fetch my Crocs. No, not just the Crocs. I need my socks as well, bitch.
I thought Edna died a
please,
long
we
time
give it
ago.
She does it, but Bert doesn't know yet
Oh.
because he never gets up.
And then he just forgets about it because nothing ever shows up.
Are Ugg boots big over there?
With Jess, they are.
And-
Yeah, not as much anymore though.
Oh, they're still
they used to be
huge
big,
here.
I love them. They're the comfiest things in the
Well,
entire
I think they
world.
look good for about the first 15 or 16 steps until the ankles cave in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get the salt rim around the back.
Wait, they would be terrible in Arizona.
Well, in Wisconsin
Yeah,
when I lived
yeah.
there,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I was
okay.
gonna say, okay.
people still wear them
That
down
makes
here.
more
Don't
sense.
it get hey, guys, it gets cold here in the winter.
How cold?
Shit.
At night it can get down to freezing.
Bring me my night
Sorry.
Uggs.
Muffin.
What?
It can get
Night
down to
Uggs.
freezing
Yeah.
at nighttime.
Yeah.
You poor people in Arizona.
Sometimes I need to go put sheets over my palm trees so they don't freeze to death.
Shut the fuck up. That's
Oh my
hilarious.
God, that's like the guys that hose down their houses in Australia.
Oh yeah, we cover when we get frost warnings. We all go outside. We take all our excess blankets and sheets and cover up all of our desert plants so they don't die.
Oh,
We lost a giant ficus tree once because we didn't have enough sheets to cover it.
you described that like losing like a close friend or family member.
Well, yeah, I went outside. The tree's name was actually Bob.
Go bury your Lester Colin.
Bob
yeah,
the
you
ficus
put a
tree.
little rock on Bob in the backyard.
Well, we just cut him down and burned him.
It was an aggressive winter. Bob
Wow.
didn't make it.
It wasn't as
A
ceremonious
little
as.
urn on a fireplace. Here lies Bob.
Oh no, we just burnt him and cooked some marshmallows over him.
Oh, Bob.
That's pretty fucked up.
Well, he was a tree. Trees are made of wood. Wood's a fuel source.
Poor
Survivor.
Bob.
And it was pretty chilly
It's
that night,
Bob.
so we needed to have a fire to warm up.
R.I.P. Colin. R.I.P. Bob.
R.I.P. Well, enough about death. Should we talk about some video games?
Yes.
It's been an interesting couple weeks for our gaming. I would say the least.
Yes.
Last week we meant to play Demon's Crest until we all discovered that we suck at it.
I was all right, but I
Tom.
struggled
Oof.
after a while. Really struggled. It's mainly the flying mechanic that I struggled with.
And
Otherwise,
the just
great.
doing anything mechanic.
No.
Like just the general function of the game mechanic.
Yeah, I
Tom,
mean, there's
you
no.
were bloody shite, mate.
I mean, I've
Sorry.
seen a lot of bad gameplay in my day, but to actually
there's-
like witness that firsthand,
At least there's no video evidence.
there is. There's
Oh, yeah.
plenty. If you want to see
really is.
this, oh,
Yes, if you head over to YouTube on our YouTube channel, you can see me struggling greatly with Demon's Crest for the Super Nintendo.
Did you guys get where you unlock the new character where you can transform?
Yes. The ground
Oh.
gargoyle.
Unsurprisingly.
I didn't see the dot there the first time. Like, oh, it's the gargoyle.
I did a really good video for Demon's Crest as well, but I conveniently forgot to record the audio. Literally just me, Demon's Crest, with nothing.
Professional quality here we got.
Wait, both
Yep.
audio, you and the game.
Yeah.
It was just video of Demon's Crest.
That's really,
Complete
really
silence.
exciting.
I think it might have audio for the game, but it doesn't have any of me talking at all.
You could have tried to go back over it.
I did. No, but it wouldn't be as funny.
No, it wouldn't.
Did none of you find it as challenging as I did then, clearly?
No.
No, it's a very difficult game, but I didn't struggle in the really easy sections like you did.
Wait, I mean, okay, let's back up a little bit. It's a side-scrolling platformer, and it opens with a boss battle, and no direction as to even where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. Like, it just drops
me
you.
of Demons in this way.
Say again?
It reminded me of Demon Souls, particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
I
you
can
get
see that.
dropped in against a boss without any warning.
Except this one you're actually able to beat, but it didn't give you any idea on how the mechanics worked. Like, I didn't know that you could jump and then hover.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't die 3 or 4 times to the first boss. Like, I think maybe one of us did.
I mean, it's the first boss, so no, I don't think any of us did, because did I die on the first boss?
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty confident that you died.
Actually, I passed control to you, if I remember.
And I beat it
'Cause
first shot.
Yeah.
I will
Almost.
say, I'll give you a small pass on your shitness because you were connecting to my computer from 5,000 miles away.
Yeah.
So there may have been a microscopic amount of lag.
Yeah, so thank you for the small pass. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
It's a small pass.
You were still shite.
There's not much credit to it.
I actually thought the game was kind of shite, if I'm honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it.
I think it was because of the difficulty. Like, especially, I'm not sure which world it was because it's been a week since I played it, but there was one level where you're kind of just in a forest landscape, and there are so many creatures on the screen at any one time that it's so claustrophobic that you have to really intrinsically find your way between each branch without getting hurt, and it's possible, but it's just very, very difficult. So
the game itself...
just things like that bugged me.
The game itself stars Firebrand, who is an enemy character from the Ghosts and Goblins series known as Red Armor in the Japanese version.
He has his own series.
Correct. Gargoyle's Quest 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
So in this game, there are 6 magical stones. Fire, earth, air, water, heaven, and time. And you need to collect all of them to create the Crest of Infinity to gain infinite power and conquer all of the respective realms.
Yeah, that's Demon's Crest.
That's it. And you pop through these different levels. They're not that long, to be honest. They're maybe 4 screens long before you get to a boss. But the forest level, I believe, is the one where halfway through the background lights on fire. Then the next screen you get to is that fire boss. Did you fight that one, Dan?
I didn't get that far. I'm just trying different stages because what's weird about this is it has kind of a Final Fantasy VI-esque world map. You can go between the levels, which I found bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that before in this kind of game. So when you finish a level, you'll go to the boss, and then you go to this world map, and you can fly around as the gargoyle and swoop down into an area, which is weird.
It's interesting because it's got a little bit of the original Zelda feel to it, where you can go to any level at any time and potentially beat it, but by beating different levels, you get certain crests or various power-ups or abilities that you can then transform into a different gargoyle. Like your first one, you're just basic firebrand, and you can jump and then press X again to hover and shoot a fireball. Another one is the ground gargoyle. He's stronger, but he can't fly, and his weapon fires down along the ground and pretty much kills everything in one hit. And you need him in order to beat this other fire boss that I was talking about, because obviously a fireball wouldn't hurt a fire boss. But this boss had 2 stages to it. And once again, this is another game that I think would be very difficult to beat without save states. So
Definitely.
you have 6 health bars or 6 health orbs, and this boss every time you got hit would take away 2, so you can essentially get hit 3 times, and it's a super long boss battle. So the first stage is kind of this fire dog or something like that you have to jump over, and then fireballs will come from the ceiling that you have to dodge, and it takes probably 10 or 15 hits, and then he transforms into like this floating fireball that shoots out flaming doves, and you have to jump over him and sometimes duck under him. Every time he hits you, it's 2. So I managed to get to the second stage without getting hit at all, and then so I save state. From that time, every time I would get hit or die, I'd reload the save state. It took me over 40 tries to beat him.
Ian,
Oh man.
meant to use the not meant to beat the water level first and unlock the water character.
I mean, maybe.
Well, yeah.
It sounds like it's kind of got a Mega Man kind of thing going on as well.
Yeah,
It does a
yeah.
little bit. It's very difficult if you don't know the way through.
And on that video, that's where I get to that fire boss.
Yeah.
And I found it nearly impossible. But like some of the platforming reminds me a bit of Super Meat Boy, like in terms of, I think it's one of the internal levels where you're interior levels where you're in like a dungeon or castle, and you have to jump onto the wall, kind of stick to it, and slide down and time it right to jump onto the opposite wall.
Yeah.
And move across
Yeah.
and avoid spikes and stuff like that. So, like, some of those bits I quite liked, because Super Meat Boy is great, and you can see where some of those platforming ideas have come from.
Super Meat Boy, I had such a love-hate relationship with that game. It used to
Yeah.
drive me insane, but I played it so much.
I just
Yeah.
found the list of all the gargoyles that you can be here. You can be the ground gargoyle, the aerial, the tidal, legendary, and ultimate.
Ultimate Gargoyle.
So obviously the tidal one is water. Aerial probably shoots out little tornadoes or something.
We did our research.
But we didn't play it that much.
Jess, did you have a chance to play Demon's Crest?
Yeah.
No.
I'm so shocked.
I'm getting divorced.
Oh, yes.
See
sorry.
how well that
that's
works?
Jess' excuse. Okay.
Jess, you can't use that often.
Like once per show, it'll be fine.
Gaming, like the gameplay elements aside, what did you guys think about how the game looked?
That was kind of cool. There had a lot of different stuff to it.
I like that it was using the Mode 7 stuff for the world map. That was cool.
Yeah, it looked a lot
it.
like Seventh Heaven.
Like kind of Mario Kart kind of feel.
Well, this is the game itself actually scored quite well back when it came out, average about 8.5, but it was universally praised for its excellent graphics. I mean, the sprites are really complex for the bosses.
Actually, yeah, I was going to say, come to think of it, that first boss looks really impressive. Like, he has several
Very.
moving parts, and he's...
I actually
well,
really
scary.
enjoyed the platforming element too, because right away at the beginning you have that section where you have to jump onto the moving platforms and then make your way up while avoiding enemies. It had a little bit of a Mega Man feel to it, but it was just really cool because he had to utilize his wall stick ability and his flying ability at the same time. Like a platform would come up, but there'd be nothing to go to, so you'd have to jump up, hover, move over, grip onto a wall, and jump up. It was really neat.
You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can kind
it's
of
cool.
skip most of the first level by just flying over it.
Oh yeah. There's
damn
But
a big long...
eventually he does stop flying. So
Does he really?
yeah, he does.
Oh.
But it lasts ages, so I just skipped most of the level.
Well, I remember there being a large pit with a platform that moves back and forth across it, and I'm thinking to myself, this is super pointless because I'm going to fly
yeah.
over the pit.
Yep.
Yeah. But he can only fly horizontally, not vertically, right?
Oh, yeah. So when you're trying to hit something on a cliff, you have to double tap X to drop a couple frames or to drop a couple lines.
Basically, you jump, then hit it again, and he hovers at that fixed height, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So you can be flying along, and then if your ledge is slightly higher than you're screwed because you can't go up.
Yeah. See, I think that's the thing. I don't think it was a bad game. I kind of retract that. It was good. It's just some of the mechanics, I found them so bizarre, and I'd not used anything like it before, that I just found it a bit unnatural. Like the tap to fly and then tap again. It took me a while for the muscle memory to kick in with that. So that was all.
Very difficult game.
I think it's a lot of trial and error, like going back to levels you've already done and trying them again with maybe a different character or something like that. I mean, if you look through some of the levels, there's actually certain sections where you can't get through, so I think you must have to use different forms of the gargoyle to get through them.
And there are different items and consumables that you can pick up to access new areas.
Again, like Mega Man.
Like Mega Man.
Mega Man!
Speaking of NES stuff...
Segway!
Always mention.
Always. This week, out of the blue, Nintendo announced a miniature NES with 30 built-in games. For the very
That's the NEX.
affordable...
The NX, sorry.
Oh, yeah, this is the NX. Like, hey, guys, here's our next console. Heard you guys like 80s games.
They'll release Breath of the Wild in NES style.
Oh, God. Could you imagine?
That'd be cool.
So it's the Nintendo Entertainment System NES Classic Edition. It fits in the palm of your hand and connects via HDMI and comes preloaded with 30 built-in games. And did you actually look through the list of games?
Yeah,
I
pretty
did.
good. Decent list.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, Super Mario,
Mega Man 2?
Castlevanias.
Yeah, Mega Man 2. I was surprised Mega Man 3 wasn't there.
Both Zeldas, all 3 Super Marios.
This also led me to find that there's a mini Genesis console with 80 preloaded games.
Really?
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 see,
With
where?
wireless controllers.
Is that
Or is it
made
50
by
it might be 50.
Sega?
I think it might be,
Because there are a lot of these
50
things. Like,
quid, 50 quid in Argos, Tom.
oh, okay. Because I remember, like, they've been these consoles for years, like the kind of plug and play ones, that like these boxes you just put in your TV and you get 30 games. But I
But I
don't
think
know
this
if
is
maybe
the first big
official
company sanctioned one, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think
Yeah.
that's why it's kicking up so much.
I don't know
fuss
if
on it.
is that Genesis one made by Sega? Well, I guess it would have
It might
to be.
not be, but
It might not be.
I mean, I was pleasantly surprised to see on this list they had Star Tropics on there, Kirby's Adventure,
Kid Icarus.
Dr. Mario, and
I know.
2 different Castlevania games. Simon's Quest is on there, which is awesome.
But it's like wicked price too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like about £50 here, I think. I'm not sure what it is in US dollar.
59 American, so
Yep.
probably like 83,000 Canadian.
Get a better currency.
see the
But-
thing with the sorry, Jess, go ahead.
Or I was just going to say, for someone wanting to get into Dream Retro Gaming, this is like a wicked option
Yeah.
for them.
See,
Definitely.
the thing, though, is that for people who are tech savvy, this is just a colossal waste of money because of the availability of emulators.
But can you make it look pretty like this one?
Well, I'm sure somebody
Yeah.
could, like, utilizing
I
a
think-
Raspberry Pi or something.
You can.
People will buy
can-
it just for the
3D
nostalgia
print.
alone of having the console and the
I
controller.
think so. Agreed. The controller is definitely a thing that makes it worth it.
What baffles me about it, though, is the fact that Nintendo has access to this vast library of previous games through the Virtual Console, but they have announced that this is not compatible with the Virtual Console. It won't go online. So you are locked in with the 30 games you have as standard. There's no possibility of upgrading. There's no way to put the cartridges in. Whereas the mini Genesis console, which is released, has an actual cartridge slot which you can use with old Genesis games.
Which is why I doubt I will be buying this thing.
It's like Have you? I don't know if they sell them, and they probably do have them over there. The Retron 5, like the console that takes like 5 different cartridges from
Yep.
5 different consoles. Yeah. I was really interested in getting one of those until I heard that all it does, you put the cartridge in, and then it runs like a ROM version of it. It's just emulating it.
So basically, it's an emulator that checks that you actually have the real game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so, and it's not exactly cheap either. It's about 70, 80 quid.
Did you see that the controllers for this NES Classic will connect to the Wii remote so you can utilize them to play Virtual Console games on the Wii or Wii U?
Ooh,
Really?
Yeah.
nice.
So it's basically a re-released Nintendo NES controller that you can utilize. But I really like the Wii Classic controller for playing that stuff. It works quite well.
Yeah. It's the actual mini console is powered by USB as well. There's no plug.
Interesting.
It's USB powered, so it must require
Well-
barely any power to use, perhaps.
Yeah, and there's no way you can connect it to a computer or anything like that or update anything. People will find a way to hack it
Yeah.
and put more games on it. They
But
have
for
to.
that price, like just having it in your living room and using it to play when you have someone over is a lot more social versus like, oh, let me boot up my emulator and
Yeah. I
can-
think that's what they're going for. I'd like somebody from my work who doesn't necessarily play games very much anymore. She was really excited about this coming out because she grew up with this. So she wanted to pre-order it that day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow!
yeah,
That's how it led to us finding this mini Mega Drive, basically.
and
I'm
those
actually more
games are
interested in the
games
Mega.
that people are going to want versus like the more obscure games.
I am really interested in the Mega Drive, Eric. I've been debating actually getting it because it looks really good. I mean, wireless controllers and everything. It's like really good bit of kit.
I'm going to see
I
if
feel
they
like
have
you
them at
should just
Target.
do it. Just buy it.
Oh, it's made by At Games? Yeah.
I think it is Sega licensed though.
Well, I see 2 different ones here. Oh, this is the actual Mega Drive one.
I mean, you have got some really good games on this as well. You have Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic and Knuckles, Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage. All the classics are on it.
It's all the classics, and Revenge of the Shinobi probably.
I
'Cause that
think
was an
it's
awesome game.
Shinobi 3, not Revenge of the Shinobi.
Oh,
Here, Dan, I'm going to send you a picture. You tell me if it's this one that we're looking at the same thing because it's got Mortal Kombat on it.
the only thing is, you will.
Yeah, that's the one, Eric.
Oh, that
I
looks
actually
good.
really, really want it now.
That looks awesome.
I'm
Like
going to
it's
try
got
to
the
find it.
cartridge slot in and everything. So if you had an old Genesis game kicking about, just whack it in and it'll play it.
That's so
you would-
cool.
you would
Just
miss save
whack
states
it
so much.
in, he says.
Yes, whack it in.
Whack it in.
Yeah.
Dan,
Hi.
are you jacking it?
Not right now.
Are you outside my house?
I'm coming later.
That's a twofold joke.
Poor choice of words.
It's like her house was attacked by a ghost.
A ghost.
Oh my god.
Here, I sent you guys a picture of the back of the box. There's so many good games on there. Does it have? Oh, let's
wow.
see. Does it have Landstalker?
Landstalker.
Landstalker.
I'd be impressed if it did, to be honest. It has a game
Sonic
called
Spin-
Battle Flirt.
Curling.
Oh,
Yes.
it's got some board game shit on it though,
It's got Ristar.
Chameleon.
but it does have some good. Mortal
Dr.
Kombat's on there.
Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh,
Vector
all
Man.
three,
Echo.
all three Streets of Rages are on there.
Oh, man.
That's pretty decent.
I need this thing.
Oh, Comic Zone. Comic Zone's great.
Oh, Comic Zone is fantastic. Have you played Comic Zone, Eric?
I have not even heard of it.
Oh, jeez.
It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. We know how much you like them.
Oh, they're just the best.
No,
There's a game called The Ooze, which I've never heard of.
Dan, have you played The Punisher for Genesis Mega Drive?
No. As in
You'd
the
love-
Marvel character.
Yeah, you'd love it.
So it looks like the bottom 4 rows are just hot shit games.
What
Yeah.
what is sparkling truffle though? That sounds so pretty and fancy.
Oh, sparkling truffles.
Yeah, like I
There's
could
a
be with my
game.
Bouvier.
Called Mr. Balls.
Yes, sir.
He's a tanuki,
Oh,
Just-
that makes sense.
giant nutsack. No, he's not really a tanuki, Tom.
Oh, okay. Well,
But it would make sense.
thanks.
Altered Beast.
Rise from your grave. That's the start of Altered Beast, just in case you didn't know.
Alex Kidd.
There's an Echo Jr.
Oh God,
There's an Echo Junior.
it's probably
I feel
easier.
like that. Yeah, I was going to say maybe we should play that.
Does not have Echo 2.
I don't see it on there.
Echo 2 is even more difficult than the original was.
So we'll look for Echo Jr. too. Echo 2 Jr.
No, there's Echo
Okay,
Junior and there's Echo 2.
Tides of Time is the second one.
This thing's
don't
only $48 on Amazon, and I could get it today.
Get it?
Do it.
What, like an Amazon Now deal?
Yeah, Prime Now.
A drone just rocks up?
Well, I live 4 miles from a distribution
I
center, so I
know.
can get shit almost immediately. The fastest we've seen anything come to my friend's house, who's half a mile away, is 15 minutes.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
He pressed.
I had a friend.
We have to wait days.
Well, they just
Yeah.
have people in Amazon vans that drive around. He ordered a PlayStation Pro headset. 15 minutes later, just some random dude knocks on the door and hands him this brown paper bag.
Awesome.
They
What
didn't
will
even
be
like
it?
package it up.
No, he just grabbed it off
Oh,
the
I
shelf,
guess,
threw it
yeah,
in
they
the
would
bag,
need
wrapped it up, and hopped in the van.
What a world we live in, guys.
Yeah,
Modern technology, It blows my tits off.
directly off.
Get that VR headset off me, boy.
My tits are gone.
I actually played with a whole bunch of VR headsets this week, which I hadn't used before. So I tried the Galaxy Gear, the Samsung one.
Oh, that made me sick.
That was, actually, it made me feel a little bit woozy because it just wasn't very sharp. Even though I'd spent ages focusing it just wasn't
Well,
quite there.
what the problem is that the resolution on those screens is so low.
Yeah. It was a bit better than normal because it was the latest phone, so it was a bit better, but it definitely still made me feel sick. And I tried the Microsoft HoloLens with the AR stuff. It was okay, but it was just a bit temperamental. It didn't really work very well. I didn't really know what I was doing. The Oculus, I've tried that before, but then I had to go on one of the Vives. That was awesome.
The Vive is awesome. Did I tell you guys
Yeah.
that I actually got to play with the PlayStation VR a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
sent us pictures of you in the queue and
Did I actually talk about it on the show? I don't think
Oh.
I don't think I did.
I'm not sure.
So I've got a lot of time in on the HTC Vive, which is fantastic. So I was afraid that going down to the PlayStation VR is going to be a big letdown. They didn't have any of the Move-enabled games because all of those ones were mature rated, and because they're doing a demo, they couldn't have mature rated games. So I played some Eve Valkyrie, which was a space fighter sim, and they had you sitting down, put the headset on, gave you a controller, and that's what I was most concerned about. Is having a controller going to take you out of the experience? And it was actually quite the opposite, because this game was perfectly suited for it. It made you feel like you were actually in the cockpit of the plane, moving your head around to see what's going on, but still utilizing the controller for movement.
Yeah.
It made me a little bit nauseous, and I don't know if it's just the nature of that game, because the biggest problem that I have with VR is that your brain is interpreting lateral movements, but your body isn't experiencing it, and that's what causes you to get sick. So that's why with the Vive, I can't play Hover Junkies, because you're on this
you
platform.
get one of those
What's that?
treadmills, man. You need to get one of those circular treadmills.
Oh, God. There's actually a chair that comes out next month that my buddy who has the Vive actually bought. It's like a $900 computer chair that sinks into the game and moves around with you. So it might give you some of those physical feedback that your body needs.
Nice.
There's also a
Nice.
controller which you can use with your feet. You sit down and you put it under your feet, and you like lean forward to go forward and back and stuff.
The games I'm most excited for are going to be racing games in VR. I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I think
Wipeout.
racing games.
The
Wipeout. Yeah, Wipeout would be sick.
the PlayStation VR does one thing better than the Vive does, and that is provide adjustability. The Vive has these straps that you just need to cinch really tight and have it suction against your face, and it's really hard to get it just right. The PlayStation VR can actually adjust from 3 different points. So you can bring the headset in, you can tighten it from the back, and then There's one other spot where it can tilt in, but the only downside is that I was never actually able to get a perfectly black seal. So there was still light seeping in, whereas the Vive, you could get that sucker right up under your eyes and never see any light.
Does that mean
coming.
you have a weird head?
I think it's it's definitely a lower quality built headset, to be honest.
Yeah.
Doesn't the Vive take a while to set up though as well? With all the sensors and stuff.
Oh,
takes
dude, there was like
forever.
cameras everywhere, and I had to like have the instructional demo from the girl who was setting me up. Took like 10 minutes.
Well, with the Vive, you have
They
to
tell
get
me,
these
okay, hold
two
these.
light boxes in opposite corners, but they have to be no higher than 6.5 feet, pointing down at a certain degree angle. They need to be able to see the whole room, but they also need to be able to see each other. And if they're not aligned just perfectly, they won't pick everything up.
That's
Really?
challenging.
So I'm definitely on board with PlayStation VR, though, to be honest.
I used to get annoyed when I had
Yeah.
to move stuff to play on the first Connect, so I would never do that. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Tom, you sent me an interesting link this morning that I didn't know about.
Yeah. I sent you a link to a game called Adventures of Mana, which I believe is a 3D remake of the Game Boy game Final Fantasy Adventure.
Which I unfortunately have very poor memories of,
Sure.
thinking it's just garbage. But in doing some more reading and research about it, it was actually a pretty critically acclaimed game. But I was playing this when I was 6.
Yeah.
I didn't really have the context of true RPGs at the time, so I definitely want to revisit it. But this Adventure of Mana, I didn't know that the Final Fantasy Legend was actually the first game in the Mana series.
I didn't
Yeah,
either.
I didn't know that either. It just Adventures of Mana, the remake, has just snuck onto the onto PSN without much warning. I was just browsing the store and it appeared, and then when I did some googling, there were people who were reporting that they'd just been uploaded very recently, and no one said
June
anything.
28th.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, well, I bought a new console, and
Is this your big news?
yeah,
Is it a Vita?
it is a Vita.
Yes!
Oh, shit.
Now, hold
I
on.
bought
Here's
it.
the big question.
I know what you're going to ask me.
Is it the original?
It's an OLED.
Oh, you're the best. So it's the original.
Yeah.
Yes.
I picked up an OLED, which was in like great condition with the official case and a 16 gigabyte memory card for about £70.
Oh my
Which is
God.
really good.
What a steal.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
Is it black?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have
it's-
one of the white ones.
It's awesome. Okay, yeah. Basically I was like, I wasn't sure if I wanted one or not. And then when I just did some research, it just seems that PSN has become a real breeding ground for indies, like for the Vita, and they've got a ton of localized Japanese role-playing games. So if you like JRPGs, there's so many that are still coming
This
out
is-
even now.
This is
And
what I'm going to play Trails in the Sky on.
yeah. I didn't get Trails of Cold Steel, even though it was on sale recently, but I did pick up Persona 4 Golden because I heard that.
That's
was really
like
good.
300 hours of gameplay right there.
I know, yeah. But they also released Odin Sphere for the Vita as well.
Yep.
But
But that game's $50.
Yeah, I'll wait till it goes down. There's Shovel Knight. I picked up Hotline Miami, which is
Nice.
amazing.
Well, the cool thing is that a lot of those games are cross-buy.
Yeah.
So if you buy it on PlayStation 4, you'll get the PS3 and the Vita version.
Which is really cool.
I really like that. And that's what pisses me off about Nintendo is that
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of Virtual Console games on my 3DS, but I bought them on my original Wii, but I can't transfer them around to my other consoles.
That's so annoying. Such a disjointed ecosystem.
Yeah.
And what else did I pick up? Oh, I picked up a game called Ease, Memories of Cell Setter. Have you heard
Yes,
of that?
the Ease games are so good.
Yes. Oh, it's so good, man.
The beautiful thing about the Vita, though, is for PS1 classics.
Oh, yeah, because you can, like, suspend it. Like,
Yeah, at any time you just press the home button and it just suspends your game wherever you're at.
yeah, it's so good.
That's what I did our
That's
entire
awesome.
Final Fantasy VIII show on was my Vita.
Yeah, I'm having a ton of fun with it. It's a really, really nice console. you know,
the one game I highly suggest you pick up. I mean, you can
Tearaway.
you can get it on PS4, but Tearaway is bar none one of the most innovative platformers I've ever played.
Oh man, okay. I've got Tearaway on my wish list.
It's only $20. It is such a good game. Even if you don't have a Vita, buy it on PS4. It is fantastic.
Oh, man, awesome. You can get the Final Fantasy X remake on Vita.
Yeah, and 10-2, and the Metal Gear Solid HD collection is available. The Jak and Daxter trilogy, Sly Cooper trilogy,
awesome.
Ratchet and Clank trilogy.
The thing I will say about the Sly Cooper one is that, well, actually, I'm thinking of the latest one, Thieves in Time, I think it was called.
Oh yeah,
it's interesting what they did. The PS4 version is awesome. You play the exact same game on the Vita, but they've changed the graphics to a cell shaded style graphic. So it's functionally the same game, but visually different.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, because there's barely any, like, AAA big name support, everyone kind of thinks that the Vita is dead, and even though it's probably in the nursing home at this stage, it does have a ton of great indie games and loads of JRPGs that are coming along, and, like, if you like JRPGs, which we do, like, it's a great console to own, I think.
I paid $300. No, how much were they when they came out? $200?
Oh, they're still really expensive. I got mine on eBay because I just couldn't.
No, I paid even $300 for mine.
Fuck.
I nearly bought one once, Eric.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it better?
The guy in the game shop was taking too long to bring it down, so I just left in disgust.
Oh no way!
No.
I stood there for about 10 minutes, and I just went, you know what? Nah, I'm going.
That's so funny.
You know, they've got World of Final Fantasy coming out as well.
Yeah.
I know it's not just on Vita, but that's probably a really ideal Vita game because it's kind of like a light.
They also
Final
announced
Fantasy.
this week that there's a game coming out called Final Fantasy Morbius, which doesn't look that bad.
Oh.
Now they're just milking the Final Fantasy name.
This is when they announced that Final Fantasy VII is mobile exclusive. You will have to travel around the world collecting the characters from Final Fantasy VII.
Just like
Pokemon Go!
Segway!
Dude, that was the best one yet.
I know. Hey, you set me up for it, and I swung, and it connected.
Serious
I'm so
home run.
impressed with myself, right?
Were you trying to set it up for that?
I was.
Oh, way to go, Dan.
Seamless.
So proud of you.
Seamless.
We're getting better at our segues.
Yeah. We just need to stop pointing them out.
So let's not spend mountains of time on this because we do have another game that we kind of want to talk about a little bit. But is Pokemon Go finally out there? Or did you guys have to side install it?
Yes, it's out.
No. Yeah, it finally came out.
I had to do the APK because we don't have it yet.
What?
I don't think. Let me just double check. But I checked last night and we still didn't have it.
So I don't think we need to actually explain what this game is to anybody because it is a global phenomenon. But have you guys been as utterly addicted as I have been?
Yeah,
See, I have a problem with mine because my phone doesn't have a gyroscope apparently, so you can't use the camera mode, which kind of defeats the point.
No. I used the AR mode 3 times, and I've never used it since. It's garbage.
You can turn it off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
When you attack a Pokemon in AR mode, in the top right corner, there's a button that says AR. Tick that, and every Pokemon you attack from there on out will just be in the world. The reason I turned it off is because in the AR mode, you have to keep moving your camera around, and it makes it really hard to hit the Pokemon with the ball in just the right spot to get like the excellent. Or if you want to do the curveball shots, it's almost impossible.
Oh, nice.
You guys know about curveball shots, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just guessing as a baseball term.
Well, what you do is you spin the Pokeball, and then when you throw it, it arcs. So you have to actually throw it up at an angle. But if you hit the higher level Pokemon with a curveball shot, you have a better chance of capturing them.
And you get more points too, right?
Yeah, it's only like 100 extra XP.
So, yeah, where I work, there's like tons of office blocks around and lots of lunch places and stuff. And so when lunch comes, everyone just kind of piles out and goes to the nearest place. And basically, when I came out on Thursday and started walking around, I was seeing people on their phones, and I was like, is that person on Google Maps just lost, or are they playing Pokemon Go? And honestly, like 9 times out of 10, if you kind of got a glimpse of their screen or just overheard their conversation, they were playing Pokemon Go. And I'm talking like all ages, men and women, just everyone fully into it, and just
it's
just
really
mad
cool game. I like it when these cultural phenomenons come around every once in a while, because it kind of unites so many people from across all different walks of life. Like I was telling you guys before the show, during our trade show this week, we were walking around and I saw one of our vendors there just on his phone, and I saw him looking up, moving his phone around and swiping his hand across it. I'm like, dude, are you playing Pokemon? And he goes, oh shit. I'm like, no, don't worry. I'm just as hooked as you are. And his booth was directly on top of a Pokestop. So he's just sitting there all day, every 5 minutes, just swiping the Pokestop, getting more items.
Amazing. It's so, my girlfriend came home from work, and then we were just having dinner, and then we decided to actually go out for a walk to play Pokemon. We were like, should we just go for a wander? Yeah, we'll just go for a wander. We need some food. Yeah, we'll go out for food. Yeah. Like, secretly, we both just want to go out and catch Pidgey.
That's so funny.
What's the rarest one you guys have caught?
I only
Kakuna.
actually...
What, Dan?
Kakuna.
Kakuna.
What do I have a drowsy. I don't even know if they're rare or not. Like,
No.
I think they're pretty common. I got a Ghastly and a Voltorb.
My friend from work caught a Pidgeot straight away.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
on his
I
desk.
have a Pidgey.
Pidgey. So there's
Pidgeot.
an exploit for leveling up really quickly that uses Pidgeys. And if you live in an area, it's I think it's actually interesting. We were talking to some people who were saying that they can't find Ekans anywhere. But Ekans down here in the desert is one of the most common. So it's really interesting how they've positioned these Pokemon. But with Pidgey, he only costs 12 Pidgey candy to evolve. So we've just been catching Pidgeys, probably 20, 30 of them. You transfer them to get yourself a bunch of Pidgey candies, and then once you have enough Pidgey candy to evolve like 10 of them, you pop a lucky egg, which doubles your experience for 30 minutes, and you just evolve all your Pidgeys that you can, and you get double the experience for it.
So you're just this mad person with tons of Pidgeots.
I'm looking at my Pidgeys right now. I've got
Call him the Birdman.
almost 10 Pidgeys.
Yeah.
But I've evolved probably 30 of them.
Amazing. I thought I did find an egg, but I don't know what it does. I think if you walk a certain number of kilometers,
you have to put it inside your incubator, though.
Oh man. Okay.
So if you go into your Pokemon, and swipe left, you'll find your eggs, and you select an egg, and then you go start incubation. But you have to have the game open, and you have to be walking. But you can't be. So I thought it would be awesome to just hop in my car and go drive 5 miles. Well, it doesn't work that way because they have a limiter set on it where once you go over like 12 miles an hour, it doesn't register it. And it uses, in conjunction with the pedometer, to test that you're actually moving. But the guy I was talking to at the trade show said that
clever.
he taped his phone to his ceiling fan in his office and it worked.
Oh my god.
This is so funny. People are doing everything they can to avoid actually walking.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Has it been on the news as much over there as it's been on over here?
Yeah.
They
They
shut
kind
up
of
on the
mentioned
video.
it once, and then some guy from BBC News was out and about doing it, clearly with no idea what was happening.
Yeah. There's a couple of UK focused Pokemon Go things around how it's popular, but a lot of our news coverage is actually from the US, where people have found dead bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or people are getting robbed from
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. Like they'll sit at Pokestops and wait for people to come by and rob them.
We've had some pretty good ads about it, like, and we still don't have it out yet, but they posted, I think Toronto Parks, the conservation area, posted like, leave things alone, like Pokemon don't want you to fuck up their environment, so like don't leave trash around and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
The Department of Transportation here in Phoenix has quite a few times made national headlines for how goofy their signs are above the interstate. And one of the most recent ones that they put up was Pokemon Go is a no-go while driving. And they just have these above all of the interstate overpasses. But part of the reason that I took the AR off is that if you leave it open while you're driving and a Pokemon pops up, you can just tap on it And if the AR isn't on, it automatically puts the Pokemon in front of you. So when you get to your next stop sign or stoplight or something, you can just flick a Pokeball at it and capture it. If you have the AR on, you need to quickly turn your phone and fling a Pokeball at it to try to get it. Otherwise, it'll disappear because you get out of range.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
Plus,
mushy.
AR destroys your
what I
battery.
find amazing about the whole thing, though, is just how it's become ingrained into so many aspects of society in such a small amount of time. I mean, it's eclipsed the amount of people using Twitter on a daily basis already.
Well, look what it did to Nintendo stock. Within the first hour, it went up 8%. Within 24 hours, their stock doubled.
Let's not forget, of course, that Nintendo didn't make or publish this game.
No.
They just have a stake in the Pokemon company.
Well, what's interesting is, I don't know if you guys played this a few years ago. I had a beta invite to a game called Ingress.
Yeah, I played Ingress.
Yeah.
This game is Ingress.
Just the same.
It is actually Ingress. It's what Ingress turned into.
But if you reskin Ingress with a cultural phenomenon like Pokemon, then it spells
I
success.
saw an interesting, I don't know if it's a mod that somebody is working on, but the amount of battery and power that the overworld map sucks is insane. We had a 20,000 milliamp phone charger with us this week just to keep our phones charged up. And somebody had reskinned it to be an old Game Boy Advance style top-down 2D Pokemon world, which I would actually prefer over this 3D pseudo Google Maps style.
Yeah.
It's easier to get around, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. There were some police officers here, based on this picture that you sent me, Jess. There's some police officers who are under investigation for playing Pokemon Go while on duty.
That's so funny.
I mean, think about it. You have a job that you're constantly moving around.
Yeah, this they put out as like a trespassing warning, like don't go on private property to catch Pokemon. And it's freaking hilarious how they have the Pokemon getting arrested.
I think the most important thing to take away is that Pokemon Go is fucking awesome.
Truth.
Yes.
Like, just through and through awesome. I find myself constantly just looking at it. Unfortunately, there's nothing near in my house. Like, just sitting around in my house, I've maybe picked up 4 Pokemon.
Oh, your house is big enough to find Pokemon. That's amazing.
Well, there's a park right across the street, so I could walk across the park and get Pokemon all day. But there were just hundreds of Pokemon constantly at this casino that we were at all week. Like some rare stuff. My buddy actually picked up a Pikachu while he was laying in bed.
Did you guys know how to get Pikachu when you first loaded up?
No.
I read that after. Starting, right?
Yeah, when you first load the game up, there'll be a Squirtle, a Charmander, and a Bulbasaur near you. But if you walk away from them, like just go, fuck you, Pokemon, and go off, and you will find Pikachu instead.
No, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
So you need to reboot, guys.
I didn't even know that you could choose between the 3, so I just saw Bulbasaur and went for him, and he would be the last person I would choose.
I picked Charmander.
I picked Charmander.
I got Squirtle.
I would have gone Squirtle or Charmander.
I found just a random Goldeen the other day. He's the first time I'd seen him.
Ooh.
I got Eevee super early. I love Eevee.
When I play a core Pokemon game, I always use the fire Pokemon first. Don't know why. Just always have every single generation fire Pokemon.
I think the rarest one I found so far is Executor.
Oh.
Executor.
He's
God, I forgot.
The palm tree with legs and coconut heads.
Yes. Oh, wait. I know. I'm thinking of Oddish.
Yeah, it goes from Execute to Executor. So
Oddish, look at that face.
We'll what level is everybody?
3.
4.
I think I'm 3 or 4.
When you hit 10 is when
Jim.
some of the really rare Pokemon start coming out.
You called Gyarados yet?
No.
I love Gyarados.
So, guys, should we take a few minutes and talk about the game we were meant to be playing for this week?
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us actually really played much of it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Whose recommendation was this? Tom's?
Not mine. No.
Tom.
So I'm going to let Tom kick off on this.
Yeah. It was this. It was my recommendation. We played Myst this week. Yeah, I'm just preface this with I'm sorry. Then again, we didn't change. I mean, collectively, we probably didn't even play enough hours to even complete one game, and yeah, so we can't even really give a fully informed opinion on it. But from the amount that I played, yeah, it was a tough game. It has not aged well. So I didn't play it on PC. I played it on the original PS1.
Oh,
that's using the controller for the pointer.
Oh
seriously
god!
down
Oh god!
seriously down res
God.
graphics. Very ropey. The fonts were really difficult to read. And I always find it a bit creepy when you play these kind of graphic adventure puzzle games, which is what Myst is. When the environments are pre-rendered and still, and then every now and again they animate, it always looks really like kind of creepy. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, so you're on an island, and I think the island is called Myst. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Don't know, mate. I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
There was books to read, but they took too long, so I just stopped.
Yeah, I don't think. From what I remember, from what I recall, you're not in the shoes of a particular person. I think you're kind of nameless, and you just, as soon as the game loads, you're just on this island.
Aren't you the guy that fell into the fissure?
Yeah, but I don't know his name or anything. I'm not sure. But you're kind of on this pier next to the water, and you kind of just make your way through this island. And basically, you're faced with puzzles and clues and lots of burnt books and weird paintings and switches and levers that seem to do nothing, wheels that you turn that don't operate, switches that barely function. It's kind of like this
Fireplaces
deserted...
that trap you.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
God.
Oh,
what was that all
happened to me
about?
as well.
I have
It's
no
so
idea.
weird. That freaked me the fuck out when that happens.
And then you could click on the back of the fireplace and
The
make
door.
little symbols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I lit up 100 symbols and nothing happened.
I
I
know.
made him
I-
into-
Tom, I might go there.
it was so
Did you?
tedious.
I made him into a penis shape, and nothing happened. So
That didn't
I was
work.
like, right, okay,
No.
so I need to put
Damn.
this into a shape of some sort, but not a single book gave me a clue. Some of those books had like, I'm talking 20 to 25 pages of writing. Like, I started
What
reading it the first
books?
3 pages.
Are those like the blue and the pink books that you find in that room?
no, because
Yeah,
those
and then
had
the-
little videos in them.
Videos.
Yeah, no, not the 2 with the videos, but there was a bookcase that had like a set of books on it that were all kind of damaged. And you could sift through the pages, and it would be like just telling you some kind of story, just not necessarily related to you, but it was like just a bunch of shite, really. And I just I read like the first 10 pages, and I was like, I don't even know if I need this information or not, because at this stage I kind of just wanted to progress. Like, I wanted to get to the meat of the game.
That's what I was doing. I was looking through, Thomas. I did read them, and I was just looking through for a clue about where to go next. And I was just going through and through and through, and I just got nothing. It was a story about, it mentioned something called ages, which I assume are different islands that you can go to in this universe or whatever it is. And Myst is an age. Like,
Right.
and then it started talking about tree people and a crazy old dude who killed himself by falling off a walkway. And I was like, what is this talking about?
Yeah. It's so odd. I mean, it's apparently like when it came out, that one of its main kind of gameplay features, if you like, was that you were just kind of dumped into this world with not a ton of backstory, meant to figure it out for yourself. And I do like that even today when games don't hold your hand, but I feel like games today do a better job of that, such as like the Souls games, for example. When you do it to a game that's like in the mid-90s, it makes it even harder, as if games back then weren't difficult enough anyways.
Did anybody
Yeah.
actually figure out how to utilize the digital imager? There's that
Yes.
little room by the dock.
Yes, that was the first place I went, actually.
I completely missed that. I
So
just went straight on.
you walk
Yeah.
in, and there's this well.
It looks like a hot tub.
Yeah, and you press a button
I
and
said-
nothing happens. So when you turn
From my
around,
vi-
there's a plaque, and then there's a small button on the plaque, and when you open it up, you can put a number in, a 2-digit number, and you have to know how many of those lever switches are on the island, which are 8, and you put that in there, and then you can go back and activate the digital imager, and it gives you a little bit of a backstory about what's happening, and that's as far as I made it. I made it through the rest of the island, but that's where I stopped.
Is that the chair? Like, there's a dentist chair.
No. This is at the very beginning when you start on the docks. When you look left, there's a little tiny door that you can click on, and it opens up. I didn't know what that chair was. It looked like a spaceship.
I sat in it, and you could change. I think it's supposed to be like time travel or something. I don't actually know.
You could change the date. You could change the dates, but I was like, I then that's why I looked in the books. Like maybe there's a significant date in here that I can go back to the chair, put the date in, but it was just all script. There weren't any symbols or anything that was kind of, because it seemed to be all about like when you're trapped in that fireplace, you had to draw a symbol on that stuff or whatever it is. But I couldn't find any kind of meaning. That's the problem. I couldn't connect anything in the game, in the game world, to anything. So I ended up just aimlessly wandering around. And
did anybody find a secret passage in the library?
Yeah, to go up to the top of the tower.
Yeah.
Yes, but then there's that map that you could rotate the tower, and I had no idea which way to rotate it.
Apparently, you have to. Well, I was using this edition I was playing on had a hint system, which I was kind of abusing quite a lot, to be honest, because I got really sick of this. It didn't work very well, to be honest. But sometimes, like when you're looking at the map, you press solution and it tells you pointed at this, and I was like, "Oh, that's useful."
And then when you
have to rotate the tower and point it at the spaceship, apparently. And you have to go up through the secret passage, up the elevator, up the ladder, and there's a thing on a wall which says 59 volts. You then have to go outside the library down to a little thing in a hut where there's some generators. Did anybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah, and you have to set that to 59 volts by pressing a different combination of buttons. And then the game crashed on me and I lost everything I'd done. So I wasn't happy.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
that's brutal.
That sucks.
It's not a very long game.
I tried to play it again this morning, but it is not a game I want to play again. So I didn't.
I think we've discovered a few genres of games that don't work well for us, and this is one of them. Like the old PC-style point-and-click adventures.
Yeah.
I mean, Beneath the Steel Sky and stuff was passable, but this one was absolutely bollocks.
And it's a shame because Myst has quite the following. Like it's on tons of platforms, and it's been remastered and stuff, and it's kind of gone down as one of those games.
I think what made it so difficult, like you said, Tom, was the pointing and clicking, where everything's a different screen that you're just hopping between. So it's kind of easy to lose where you are. So if you could actually fluidly walk around this world, it'd be a little bit easier.
Yeah, there's a remake called Real Myst, which is actually a free roaming game with full 3D graphics.
Huh.
Yeah, I know.
I really should have played that.
Maybe we should have played that one instead, yeah.
God damn it, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Is that
so? Is it shit bullet stars all around this week?
Oh, it's real shit. And I could have purchased that one for us instead of just Myst. It was the same price.
No, I thought Myst was super cheap, and that the other one was much more expensive because it was...
I feel we should come back to it with the new one.
Yeah, we should buy this one again for it's only $6 now with free 360-degree movement, improved animations, and more. Ugh.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin in this one and come back to it with this version of the game instead.
Yeah, I feel like we should. It's. I mean, it was my recommendation, but it was also, I believe, one of our listeners also plugged Myst as well as something that we should play.
Okay.
I don't want to say it's a bad game. I just feel like we've become a little too spoiled with our games, and this one's just too hard to go back to. So I know it's a great game.
It didn't work well on my computer at all either. It's very, very... The resolution was off, and it was just...
Well, isn't your computer like 5 years old?
Yeah.
It's time to upgrade, Dan. A laptop is really only meant to be around for about 3 years.
Well, that's
Don't
fine.
you say that about his laptop.
I'll say it about whatever I want.
My laptop is fine.
Obviously, it can't even run a game from the 90s.
And like Myst was the best-selling PC game throughout the 90s until The Sims came out in 2002.
Wow.
So
get better taste, people. Come on.
No, I do want to play this again, but the 3D version. I wish I would have known that. I would have bought this version instead.
Yeah, I didn't know. And also the version that we ended up playing didn't work on Mac, so that's why I had to jump onto the PS1. Whereas the new one works on Mac.
Well, not from GOG. It only says Windows.
Oh, I saw it had a little Apple symbol earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Oh, we'll look at it again sometime.
Eric
But yeah,
automatically discards that.
yeah.
Mac? What's that?
This piece of fruit. That's not a platform.
Fruit doesn't play games.
Yeah, we should put a pin in that one and revisit, I feel.
Yeah, there's definitely not a Mac symbol on there, Tom.
Boo.
Get a better computer.
I do. It's called OS 10, my friend.
Can it play a game from the late 90s?
Quite.
Yes, it can.
No, it can't.
Hey, I upgrade 5 years behind everyone else, as we understand with the internet.
God. Anybody else play anything this week worth chattering about?
I've been replaying Red Dead Redemption.
Really?
What's your horse kill count?
Oh.
2.
That's it? Man, I'm disappointed.
Good job.
already cleared
I'm
the
proud
game.
of you.
I've killed many other critters, though, Jess. So
How many other horses?
Raccoons?
I've killed 4 wolves, lots of rabbits, a few armadillos.
Armadillos. Nice.
That game has held up really well. Even on PS3, it still looks really good.
I did actually play it again recently, and I've changed my TV since I last played it, and it looks really like someone's turned the gamma all the way up. Like it's really sharp and bright. I don't know if that might be my TV settings, but
Yeah, you can adjust that, Tom, you know.
yeah, probably. I'm just a bit lazy. But yeah, it just kind of looked really like sharpened. I think it's just going from PS4 games back to PS3. You kind of notice all the differences and stuff.
You know what other game I have to talk about?
Oh.
Come and get it!
Oh, yeah.
Come and get him!
I wish I were coming with more joy to this game.
Yeah, none of us have played it apart from you. I played it at a convention, but I don't have it.
I heard it was crap, so I'm not buying it.
It's not... Okay, let me
Is it worth
qualify it.
£30?
No, absolutely not. It'd be a $15 purchase at most.
Okay.
It's fun. It's a ton of fun. Like, every bit as fun as I thought it would be running over people in wheelchairs and old ladies with Zimmer frames. Like, Dan, I sent you that picture. First thing I did was find a lady with a Zimmer frame and just mow her down.
Yeah.
Got the perfect picture out of it. However, for a game that is 100% about driving, the driving mechanics are garbage.
That
It
sucks.
looks like a PS3 game.
Well, the graphics don't bother me at all. The driving mechanics are terrible.
I thought it'd be more akin to sort of Gran Turismo or Dirt Rally.
This game is the worst driving game I've ever played.
Wow.
You cannot anticipate your corners. It feels like it's a car with 1,000,000 horsepower on an ice-covered pond.
Does it feel like the old games where the car doesn't move, but the road moves backwards?
No, the car definitely moves. It's just really floaty.
Oh, okay.
The way it functions is that you start with one car, and then to get other cars during these different events, you have to destroy a certain one. So every different level is going to have a different car that can become you can capture by destroying it. So one of them is a drag racer. Like, oh, I want that car. So I immediately went after it, destroyed it. Next round, used that car. You hit the gas and just accelerate into a circle. You cannot drive that car. You physically can't. Anytime you hit the gas, superpower, spin in a circle, and you're done.
Jeez.
It's not as fun as I wanted it to be. The different objectives, the way they have things structured, is kind of fun because some of them are actual races, which are kind of boring. But other times you have 3 different things you can do to win. You can either destroy everybody else, kill a predetermined number of pedestrians, or complete a certain number of laps. I always just go for destroying everybody because it's the easiest. If you try to kill all the pedestrians, it's like 500-600 pedestrians you have to kill, and it'll take you forever. They've got a game mode called Pedestrian Target where it's like capture the flag or checkpoint where you need to kill that pedestrian and you get a point, and then another pedestrian is targeted, so you have to kill them and you get another point. But if you destroy somebody, you get all of their points and then continue to go around. It's a really cool concept. It just sucks that the driving mechanics are so bad.
That's really poor. If I remember rightly, you can drive in cockpit view, and when you mow people down, you got blood on the windshield, and you have to use the windscreen wiper to get rid of it.
Oh dear.
That's still a thing.
I haven't tried the windscreen wiper, but you can drive up next to people and open your doors and knock them down, which is kind of hilarious. You have different power-ups that you can flip through, like the electricity, or you can fling people away, or some of the different caveats like legless people or armless people or psychotic people, and they just run around. Or it's at the core, it's a really cool concept, just exceptionally poor execution, and it's really disappointing.
Oh, you were looking so forward to this as well.
I really was, and it pains me so much to say. I'll still play it. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to play it. Because you can upgrade your car. There's different weapons that you can attach to it, armor upgrades, engine upgrades. But it's just not as fun. And since the online mode, they took pedestrians out, it's completely pointless.
That is so disappointing. We could have done so much good stuff with that.
Yep.
Yeah, like Carmageddon, the original, when it came out in the 90s, was really big. It was controversial, but it was popular on PC.
Wasn't it one of only 2 games ever banned in the UK?
Yes, I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm not sure what the other one was.
I don't know either.
Spot.
Cool spot.
Cool spot.
So yeah, to take that intellectual property of Carmageddon and kind of not pull through with the driving, that sucks.
I don't understand how it's got past everybody this time, though. It's kind of just passed by like a fart in the wind and nobody cares.
Well, because it came out on a Friday. In the middle of the summer slump.
Well, Stainless Games, who developed that game, they are based on the south coast of England, and that's where they made Carmageddon.
Yeah.
They're hiring programmers, artists, everything.
Get a job there and tell them to not make shit driving mechanics. Like, at the very minimum, just make arcade-style driving mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be like having a first-person shooter where your bullets don't shoot straight.
That's
Exactly.
so annoying.
It's so bad.
Like, I don't know what engine it's running on, but supposing they use something like Unity to keep costs down, there are tons of engine plugins for driving games, and any one of those would have been better than the one they broke.
You can't make a corner without handbraking, and then you spin around in a circle, and then you get stuck on a wall, and then you have to back up, and people bump you, and it's not fun. And the levels are huge, and there's tons to explore, but trying to line yourself up coming around a corner to hit a ramp is damn near impossible.
Oh, I do remember when I played it at the convention, I'd miss a ramp, and then I'd actually turn around and drive all the way back, and then turn around, try and get it again. And by this time, I'm last in the race, and I just really want to, because you can go on roofs and stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
of other buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. The exploration element, like you say, is great, but the driving was hard as shit.
Yeah, I'm super disappointed.
Oh, I wanted you to love that game.
I wanted me to love it.
Because you were
I thought
so
no
excited.
matter what, you could love that game. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want, I'll do a session, a share play with, and you can try it out and see what I mean. I mean, that's for me to not love this game. That's how bad the driving mechanics are.
Jess, have you got yourself a PS4 yet?
No, not yet.
You bought a puppy instead.
Yes.
Seems like a
Get
bad
PS4.
decision.
You need a PS4, and
I know.
Dan needs a Vita.
Yeah, Dan does.
Dan, you should get that Vita that you were trying to buy however many years ago it was.
Maybe he's got it down at the counter now. He's like, boy, I sure hope that guy comes back.
We haven't sold many of these lately.
Only
Come
been
on.
2 years.
So, unfortunately, we don't have any emails this week.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel unpopular.
If you want to send us an email, factorysealed@manatank.com or podcast@factory-sealed.com. Next week,
Should
guys.
have made them up like usual.
Yeah, we just make them up and tag names onto them.
We want more dog barking from Jessica. Okay.
John Smith says, Tom is awesome.
How
Thank you.
believable.
Thank you, John.
That's not right. Next week, guys, we have a very special guest on. Longtime listener and recent winner, Jack Grant, is going to join us to play some Banjo-Kazooie.
Woohoo!
Let me tell you what,
Love Banjo-Kazooie.
I'm pumped for that.
I
Yes.
love it.
Christy's excited for it too, because that's one of her favorite games. So we're going to play through that together.
I've only played like half hour of it, I think. So
It's so
Oh,
good.
Tom,
It's so
you
good.
You went for a treat.
yeah, got a
Yeah.
big
It
void
will
in my.
only be beat by Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Which we should probably revisit again at some point because we didn't beat it the last time we played it.
Really?
Yeah, because it was.
It's long.
Yeah, I
is
think
long.
we only gave ourselves like a week or something.
You need a 2-weeker for that, like.
Yeah. So Jack's going to join us for that. So let's all make sure we actually don't get shit-colored stars next week. The week after.
Banjo-Kazooie's a lot to finish in a week, mind. It's a big game.
Yeah. Well, we'll get as far as we can, I guess.
Do your best, guys.
The week after that, we've got Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy.
Yes, more handheld stuff.
Then we're going to do some Medieval.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sir
And
Daniel Fortescue.
Jess, I'm not sure if your suggestion is serious for Cross Country Canada versus Oregon Trail.
That was supposed to be on goddamn America Day,
Wow.
but it would be fun.
Now, Tom, you were talking about wanting to do a playthrough of Vice City.
That was
No,
me.
that was Dan.
Oh, that was Dan. So do we want to put that on the books and then just start slowly playing through it?
It is on the books.
Well, you have Grand Theft Auto 3 or Vice City. Pick one. You can't do both.
Vice
Have your
City
cake
for the
preview.
soundtrack.
Thank
I
you.
feel that Grand Theft Auto 3 was more revolutionary because it was the first one.
But
But
Vice City's
Vice
more
City
fun.
has such a sweet soundtrack.
So,
Speaking of soundtracks, have you guys heard the Hotline Miami soundtrack?
it's awesome.
Holy fuck, that is one of the best soundtracks I've heard on a game. The whole thing, the whole 5-hour clip of it on YouTube has got it's got like millions of views. It's
Really?
great. Yeah, you should check it out if you like. Yeah, just check it out. It's really good.
For the Vice City, can we play the PS4 version?
Yeah,
Okay.
if
good.
Jess gets one.
Well, Jess can just play a PS2 version.
I might play it on my PS2.
I
to be
do
honest.
whatever I want.
So, Daniel,
Hello.
how are you?
Hey, very well, thank you.
Not anymore.
It's never going to end, Tom.
No,
Tom,
we
because
got
you
this
flagged it
far.
up as an issue, we now do it on purpose. So
Yeah.
you've only got yourself to blame, you fool.
As soon as you fully buy into it is when we stop doing it.
Shut up.
Where can we find
Thomas.
you on the Twitter?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Ah, right, okay. I'm not confused because you were talking to
The
Tom.
person that I was just talking to.
Don't make me start this over, Daniel.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Where can we find you on Twitter?
Find me on Twitter or Fat Lost.
Jess, where can we find you at Crazy Barking Dog Lady?
I'm not a cat lady anymore.
Oh, heavens.
No.
Where are your cats? Did they die?
No, they're here.
Oh,
They hang out with the dog.
gross.
That's wrong.
Thomas,
Hello.
how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, geez. I'm not expecting that.
That's so annoying.
Where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Hyperjelly.
You can find me at Honest Pizza or the show at factory_sealed, or check us out at factory-sealed.com, facebook.com/factorysealed, or on YouTube. YouTube. Guys, that's going to do it for this week. We'll be back next week with Jack Grant and some Banjo-Kazooie.
Bye.